Hey everyone, Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by. I'm gonna preface this entire video with the fact that the crypto world, the blockchain space, is still alive. It's beating well. I'm a recruiter in the space, if you didn't know that, and speaking to clients every day, completely unfazed by this correction, by the price of Bitcoin and Litecoin. The innovation, the technology, it's thriving strong. So just keep that in mind, because remember what this space is all about. Remember the ideas and the invention and the innovation behind this technology. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop into the video. I wanted to point out two things that I'm just looking at right now. One is I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, and I really wanted to point this out to you. We have this, and I talked about this yesterday. I was kind of looking for it. It didn't happen, but it just happened on a 4-hour candle that we just had closed a little bit ago. We have the bullish engulfing candle here, which, if you don't know, we have the high and the low, engulfing the previous candle. So with that being said, at least for the short term, it looks like we found a nice little bounce there. And that might be relief to some who are kind of riding this down and worried, but hopefully you are doing this and approaching this with a plan and what you're going to do. Are you going to buy? I certainly hope you didn't sell down here, but I wanted to just point out that we do see that. We also see this volume that we had yesterday. It's slowly kind of we're slowly seeing volume go back down. So we're leveling off a little bit, which is good. Now, this is at least for the short term. So I'm not gonna say that like we've hit a complete bottom here, but it's a nice signal that at least for the short term with this candle here, we took a nice little bounce, and we're chilling right now at 174. Now, I wanna also point out something else that I'm kind of just keeping an eye on. And it's way more speculative. At least right now we're looking at the 4-hour and we're kind of seeing what's happening right now. But something I'm keeping an eye on, if you watch my falling wedge video, I talked about how when will we actually bounce off the bottom, and I don't have a time frame for that. However, one thing I could see forming, which is quite common in a nice reversal in the continuation pattern up, in a falling wedge pattern, is a inverted head and shoulders. So I'd really be curious and would actually really like if we could see something like that form. And I'm keeping an eye on it. You can kind of see the falling wedge here, and I don't know if this is going to happen, but this is something that I like to do. This is part of the fun of charting for me, and the fun of watching the markets is kind of speculating sometimes. So we have within this falling wedge, we can see maybe a possible, let me get the brush here, a possible shoulder, right? And from here, we might have a possible head, and we're only halfway through. So what happens next, nobody knows. But what I could see possibly happening is possibly if we can really have a bullish run up back into the resistance at 280 eventually, I could see us bouncing off that resistance back down at support at 200, and perhaps this could be the end of this correction, and from there we might kind of correct back up. So, and that would complete the inverted head and shoulders, and right here you would see the neckline at the 280 resistance that we've kind of had some trouble breaking through. Completely speculation. I know a lot of people, I kind of get this sometimes, a little bit of hate for charting and technical analysis and doing these things, because everybody's just like, it's a flip of a coin. Nobody knows. And to a certain extent, you're right, okay? Nobody does know, and I get that, and that's why I'm way more conservative of an investor, and that's why, trading-wise, I don't enter trades as often, especially in months like this. I just don't. In months like this, when we start seeing really lower lows and all this, I really look for buying opportunities as a long-term investor. So, however, the more confirmations you can get from patterns that have proven to happen over and over again in history, the more that you can get a confirmation out of those patterns, and you can start checkboxing things happening. Like, for instance, if this falling wedge happens along with this inverted head and shoulders, the more that happens, it really helps you make decisions. So, and then it becomes more of less of flipping a coin and more of making an informed decision. So that's just kind of my spiel there. And I just wanted to really kind of go over what I was looking at right now as far as these 2 points with the 4 hour. And, yesterday was a very crazy day, and we finally got at least on the 4 hour. I'd be curious to see what happens next with this 8 hour. If you look at the chart, let's see where we go. We still have 3.5 hours until this candle closes. So who knows, but at least for the short term, we are right now 3:20 Eastern time, January 17th, and we're just gonna keep an eye on it, see what happens. So might do another video later on today. I just really wanted to thank you for coming by and checking my analysis out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading all of your comments when you guys do comment, and I love seeing your perspectives and how you're handling the markets right now, because it's interesting to see how others are handling this. So again, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and God bless.